Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so your friends see it. Thank you.
Alec Baldwin claims Melania loves his Trump impression. Melania sets him straight in brutal response. Alec Baldwin is a failing actor who has tried to become relevant again by making fun of Donald Trump. For months, Baldwin has dressed as President Trump on Saturday Night Live in order to mock him. However, he took a step too far when he claimed that Melania Trump loves his impression. "I forget where we were, but somebody said, I spoke with so-and-so, who spoke with so-and-so who's in the administration or was in the administration, and he told me that Melania loves your Trump imitation, thinks it's the funniest thing in the world, and he hates the fact she thinks you're funny, despises you even more because she thinks you're funny," said Baldwin during a radio interview. Melania responded to these moronic allegations in a brutal way. "That is not true, which is why Mr. Baldwin has no actual names to go with his bizarre assertion," said Melania's spokeswoman. Despite being called out as a liar, telling a very obvious lie, Baldwin doubled down on his claims. "And I'm telling you, this guy told me that somebody very high up in the administration, or formerly high up in the administration. Trump's on the phone telling her social secretary what to say to the press, but Melania's in the other room watching SNL, he said. Wrong. Melania would never watch that garbage show." MSNBC has guest literally repent for his past right-wing stupidity. MSNBC's Joy Reid interviewed author Frank Schaeffer. Schaeffer was once a right-wing conservative who decided to become liberal partway through Obama's presidency. He now uses the fact that he switched parties as a way to bash conservatives. "The healthy future is sitting around that table with you," said Schaeffer, explaining that because there are a lot of minorities at MSNBC it is a better place. "There are black faces there, white faces, Asian faces," he said. "You've got one token old white fart here who repents his past right-wing stupidity. I look at what's around your table and say if two lines were forming, I would be running in that direction. That's the healthy, hopeful redemptive future," he said. "Back in the day when my dad and I were going around the country establishing the religious right based on our anti-abortion stand, one I've moved a long way from since. The whole idea was bringing America back to some moral stand," said Schaeffer. "Think about the Republican Party now. Throw some words out that are associated with them: mass shootings, Milo, Trump, Moore, Bannon, rape, child molesting, neo-Nazis, white supremacy. What the hell is going on with the Republican Party?" he said. "That's just disgusting." Sally Khan says we must vet men for toxic masculinity, changes tune when Bill Clinton is mentioned. CNN's Sally Khan recently wrote an article on how we need to do a better job of stopping toxic masculinity from getting power. The article was clearly directed at Donald Trump. However, she had a completely different attitude when it came to the women that Bill Clinton allegedly raped. "We must together open our eyes. Donald Trump called for the expansion of extreme vetting for people entering the United States. Why aren't we extreme vetting men who are here? Why aren't we talking about toxic masculinity? Why aren't we, as a society, seriously scrutinizing men and masculinity, and how the way we raise our children, treat our workers and form our policies perpetuates behavior we say we don't want?" The answer, of course, is also the problem. It is because men wield disproportionate power and privilege that we have failed to question this reality, and improve upon it, in any serious way, she wrote. During a CNN interview, former Trump campaign advisor Jack Kingston brought up the women that Bill Clinton has assaulted. Jack, the difference between Bill Clinton and Donald Trump is Bill Clinton was impeached. So we aired that one as a public. And also, he's not currently the president, said Khan. He was impeached for perjury, responded Kingston. Khan suddenly lost her cool. Listen, this is fine. I'm fine watching this Roy Moore thing go down. Because with condolences to the poor statesman, of course, the women who he has abused and made suffer, we are watching the destruction of the Republican Party before our very eyes. They are doing themselves systemic damage for generations. And I'm going to be honest, I'm here for it, she yelled. Maher shames Donna Brazile for exposing Hillary corruption during election. It doesn't matter. It's over. During the Democratic primaries, Bill Maher was once a fan of Bernie Sanders over Hillary Clinton. However, now, he is defending Hillary, saying it doesn't matter that she rigged the primary against Sanders and shaming Donna Brazile for coming forward. In an interview, Maher accused Brazile of being stuck in 2016. Can we put the Bernie-Hillary thing aside? That great divide. I mean, that's what all the controversy was with your book, that the elections were, the primaries were rigged, said Maher. And, you know, it doesn't matter, first of all, now. It's over. And also, the policy differences between the Bernie folks and the Hillary folks were really small to begin with, said Maher. So Maher just doesn't care that the entire Democratic Party is corrupt. Which is good news for us conservatives. Because, while people like Bill Maher say it doesn't matter, the American people care. Brazile made headlines when she proved Hillary's connection with the DNC. I at last found the document that described it all, the joint fundraising agreement between the DNC, the Hillary Victory Fund, and Hillary for America, wrote Brazile. The agreement, signed by Amy Dacey, the former CEO of the DNC, and Robbie Mook with a copy to Mark Elias, specified that in exchange for raising money and investing in the DNC, Hillary would control the party's finances, strategy, and all the money raised. Her campaign had the right of refusal of who would be the party communications director, and it would make final decisions on all of the other staff. The DNC also was required to consult with the campaign about all other staffing, budgeting, data, analytics, and mailings, wrote Brazile. CNN's Ana Navarro explains how hating Trump has turned her into a black person. We knew CNN's Ana Navarro was nuts, but this is just ridiculous. According to Navarro, she is actually an African American because according to her, African Americans don't like Trump, and she also doesn't like Trump. This is not a joke. 0% African Americans support Trump in polls. I knew I had to be black. Took Ancestry.com test. So excited. 4% black. Explains a lot, she wrote. You know who else conflates race with ideology? The KKK. The KKK and Ana Navarro would get along very well. Also, clearly saying that 0% of African Americans support Trump is fake news. You just need to find one black person who supports Trump and you can prove she is wrong. Different polls also challenge her claim. Trump's numbers improve significantly among young African American voters, 42% approve and 53% disapprove. This number is up significantly since our last oversample in July. At that time 33% approved and 57% disapproved, says a poll by Zoloby. Ana Navarro is an outspoken critic against Trump and Republicans. At the same time, Navarro says she is a Republican. This is most likely a ploy to convince viewers that CNN has people from all over the political spectrum. But CNN and Ana Navarro aren't fooling anyone. MSNBC's Mika turns on Clintons, just called Bill Clinton a predator on air. Throughout the election, liberals in the media like Mika Brzezinski from Morning Joe on MSNBC could not praise Democrat Hillary Clinton enough. However, now that it is trendy to accuse powerful men of sexual harassment, Mika has changed her tune on the Clintons and even called Bill Clinton a predator on air during her show. Stated Mika, throwing fellow Democrat Bill Clinton under the bus in a timely manner, there are cases where the predator flourished and continued to be the President of the United States. I'm talking about Bill Clinton, where the women were attacked, where they were settled with and their lives were ruined, Monica Lewinsky, and forever stamped with a scarlet letter. This is what we've been dealing with on both sides of the aisle. She later said about Democrat Kirsten Gillibrand's statement that President Bill Clinton should have stepped down, when asked by the New York Times if Bill Clinton should have resigned after his relationship with Monica Lewinsky was revealed, the New York Democrat, and I completely agree and I felt this in the moment, said, yes. I think that is the appropriate response. Brzezinski went on, I don't know why women in the White House and in Washington did not think that in the moment. Adding quote, that's me, not her. Things have changed today and I think under those circumstances there should be a very different reaction. And I think in light of this conversation we should have a very different conversation about President Trump, and a very different conversation about allegations against him. She concluded, thank you, Kirsten Gillibrand. And as the Times notes, Gillibrand has a long-standing tie with the Clintons, now occupies the seat once held by Hillary Clinton. I think the days of sort of tiptoeing around the Clintons are over and I'm fine with it. Are you glad even dyed-in-the-wool Democrats like MSNBC's Mika have now publicly turned on Bill Clinton? Outspoken Trump critic George Takei accused of drugging a man and attempted rape. Former Star Trek actor George Takei has been an extremely outspoken critic against Donald Trump and is a proud LGBT advocate. In many cases those who condemn the loudest, are actually the most guilty. According to recent allegations, Takei once drugged a man and attempted to rape him. Former male model Scott Brunton told his story to The Hollywood Reporter. We have the drink and he asks if I would like another. And I said sure. So, I have the second one, and then all of a sudden, I begin feeling very disoriented and dizzy, and I thought I was going to pass out. I said I need to sit down and he said sit over here and he had the giant yellow beanbag chair. So I sat down in that and leaned my head back and I must have passed out, explained Brunton. The next thing I remember I was coming to and he had my pants down around my ankles and he was groping my crotch and trying to get my underwear off and feeling me up at the same time, trying to get his hands down my underwear, said Brunton. Brunton was able to escape. Takei is one of those activists who thinks you should always believe the victim. Except, of course, when it comes to himself. Friends, I'm writing to respond to the accusations made by Scott R. Bruton. I want to assure you all that I am as shocked and bewildered at these claims as you must feel reading them. The events he describes back in the 1980s simply did not occur, and I do not know why he has claimed them now. I have racked my brain to ask if I remember Mr. Brunton, and I cannot say I do, wrote Takei on Twitter.